So hello guys, and let us start with the second part of our Flask video. So in the previous part, what we saw is we saw about the routes and how we will render a template for a request given. If it is about or if it is index or if it is home, we will render the respective templates or respective HTML pages. So in the today's video, we'll just have a look at how we can pass the data from our backend Flask to our HTML page to display it. Suppose you are having a database which is MySQL or some other database, PostgreSQL. So we'll get the data from a database and we'll store it in a variable like data. So I'll assume that it is some data, some string. Hello. Okay, now I need to display this data which I have taken from the database into my template, into my page, HTML page. So let me create a page. I'll create a new page, data.html, and now I'll just copy paste the things from our previous video. If you have not watched our previous video, please first have a look at it and then watch this. The link will be in the I button. So this is the about page. Okay, and this is the index page data. Now let me remove this. Okay, I have created a page called data. Now let me get back to my app. Now I'll create a route for it. I'll write it as data over here, and I need to rename this also because there can't be same named two functions. I guess data is a keyword. I'll give one more here. Okay, and we'll be rendering a template which is data.html. Okay, and now if I want to pass this data to my template which is data.html, what I can do is I can write comma and I can directly pass the value over here. So you need to pass two values, which is one is the key and the other is the value. So I can pass it as data is equal to data. So your data will be the key and this will be the value, which is this. For simplicity, you can understand that this is hello. It is somewhat of this kind. So where if I can directly use data into my data.html over here, if I print it, I'll get the hello over there. So let me keep it. When you are getting the data from the database, we'll store it over here. Data 1. Let me take it as data 1. Data 1. Okay, I'll save it and now I'll get back to my data.html. Now you need to open two curly brackets over here and you need to print data and I'll put this in a h1 tag because I want this to be printed in a heading. Just copy this. I'll put it inside a h1 tag. Okay, and yeah, let us test it. To run the Flask server, the command is Flask space run. The server is running. Let me check it. To get to our data page, we'll be typing /data. I'll write over here /data. So here you can see this is the data which we passed over here. Let me change this data and see. This is the data from database. This data is retrieved from the database. I'll save it, and as you know, we need to restart it. I'll control C to quit and I'll restart the server. I'll get back here and reload. So here you can see this data is printed from the database. So okay, this is the one of the way. So suppose if I'm having a list, let me comment out this and let me take data 1 as a list of one list of names. Okay, and I'll take Harry. I'll take some other name. Now how will be printing over here? So if I just run it, Control C to quit and restart. If I reload it as it is, I'll get a list over here as it is. But I want the individual names to be printed. So what I can do is I'll get back to my data.html page, and here I need to open curly brackets, and here I'll run a for loop for it. Okay, for I in data1, for I in data, and here I need to end the for loop and for and for. Okay, yeah, one more thing. Whenever you're displaying just the data, you need to use two curly brackets. If you are performing any logical operations like for loop or any other if statements, you need to use curly bracket and a percentage sign, as you can see over here. Let me make it little clear. So here you can see, yeah, you need to use a percentage and a curly brackets. Okay, so I'll print I over here, as you know on the basics of Python. So whenever I run a for loop, one by one data will be assigned to I, so we'll be printing I over here. Okay, now let me try this out. I'll quit it, restart the server, get back to my page, I'll reload. See, you can see all the data has been printed one by one. Okay, this is all about the displaying of the data from our backend or from our Flask into our HTML page. So the next thing we'll have a look at is how we can add images or CSS or JavaScript or external files into our Flask application. So let us get back to our home page. Okay, over here. So here you go. So if I want to include some images or some static files like some CSS or JavaScript, what I can do? So I can't directly put create a folder over here and put the HTML like CSS JavaScript files over here. It's not possible in Flask. In Flask, you need to create a new folder which is named as static folder. Okay, inside this you can include your CSS and JavaScript files. As of now, let me create a style.css file. We'll take body, background color is purple, violet or something. So I have written the style in this and I'll save it, and I'll get back to my index.html page. Okay, now how we will be including our static files over here. So I'll get into my head. So here let me change my this one to extension to HTML. So here I will link a CSS file. Okay. So everything is same, but in this, while you are writing the href in the HTML, as you know, you need to include a style sheet here, style.css. So in this, we'll be opening two curly brackets and we'll write it as URL underscore for, and in a round bracket you need to write as static and comma single quotes file name is equal to, and here we'll be giving the file name. Here you need to include the file name style.css. Okay, so it will check into the static folder, which is this. It will search for style.css and it will include it. So let me save it. Let me quit the server and restart. Let me see. So we have applied the style for the main page. So here you go. Our background has been changed over here. Okay. So this is all about the styling static files. So here I can also include some image files, and also the JavaScript files. So including will be the same. Let me show you. So here I have copied an image, so which is 1.png. So let me include it over here. I'll show you. I'll type img scr. In the scr, we'll be giving the path. The same thing. I'll copy it and I'll paste it over here. Same thing, but this style.css will be changing to 1.png. 1.png. Okay, let me save it. And now quit the server and restart it. Restart the server. Come here, I'll reload, and here you can see there is the image which I have added over here. Okay, I hope this is clear till here, and we'll continue the rest of the things in our next video. So thank you guys.